Hello and welcome to what I'm teaching this week. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Becca. I teach elementary music and every week I share what I'm teaching with all of you here so that if you are struggling to see kind of like the progression of lessons and how to string things together, hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight. That's really what I want to focus on, is like how you actually put these lessons and ideas together in context. We do what I teach in a week because I see my students for a week at a time and then I don't see them for a month. So we do week at a time lessons, and you can just translate that to week 1, week 2, week 3 if you see them on a regular rotation. So today we're talking about third grade. Third grade is kind of prepping law. We did learn law at the end of second grade, but we were online and then we were hybrid. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably didn't see half of my second graders last year. They probably had the worst attendance of all of my grades. So my point being that they don't remember very much. So we are pretty much starting over with law. And starting over with law, trying to feel out where they are with rhythm and all of that good stuff. But we have some songs that I've never done before that I'm now in love with and so excited. So let's hop right on in. All right, so on Monday, my kiddos come in and the first thing we're doing is our stick figure activities. So these are in my TPT shop. They're just little stick figures in different positions and the kids just have to match them. Super simple. I love it for the very first thing we do because it's so easy and the kids love it. It's very simple. They are able to engage quickly. And you can play literally any music and then just turn to the different poses along with the phrases, and it's a really good way for them to hear different music. So sometimes we use this if I want them to hear something they're maybe not used to, but love it for the beginning of the school year. So much fun and super easy, and they just love it. After that, we are going through all of the rules. Woohoo! And so I will skip over that because we have other videos about how to teach the rules and stuff like that. Next up, we're doing our getting to know you activity. So what we're doing is I briefly go over the words to the song Getting to Know You from The King and I, getting to know you, getting to know all about you, which I love because it's actually about a teacher trying to get to know her students. And so I love playing this song on the first day because I'm a teacher trying to get to know my students. And what I do is I have the kids walk around the room while the song is playing. When the song stops, then my plan was to put up on the board one of the icebreaker music conversation starters that I created that are in my TPT shop that are amazing. So definitely go click the link and buy them. But I was foiled by the fact that my projector is not working. So instead I just ask them a question. So I like to start with really simple things like, how old are you? What's your favorite color? Different things like that. And then we get a little more in depth. So we'll say like, if you could be any animal, what would you be? Or if you were a teacher, what would you do? And stuff like that. And then we can get even more in depth if we want to, or we don't have to. After that, we go through the song My Mom Was a Baker. And this is a really fun and really simple one that I love for the beginning of school because they can participate really easily, even if they're nervous. And so for this one, we do pat, clap, and we sing. My mama was a baker, a baker, a baker. My mama was a baker, and this is what she said. And so I just have them join me on that the first time. And then we go to My Father Was a Garbage Man, so he says P-U, and it's a cumulative song, so you add more. And then we do My Brother Was a Cowboy, and if we have time we can add more verses. There are a bunch, but usually we only have time for 3. And so then I'll go through the whole thing, and usually by then they can sing it with me because it's a pretty simple song. And again, if they don't feel comfortable singing on the first day, then they can just do the and they're still activating their voice, stuff like that, and they can do the pat clap, and it's a great time, and they just think it is the funniest song ever. Then on Tuesday, I am pulling out one of my favorite songs for third grade, and that is Mama Llama. So this song goes, oh gosh, let me make sure I get the words right. Mama Llama, kuma la pizza. Mama Llama, kuma la pizza. Oh, no, la pizza. Oh, no, la pizza. Annie, Manny, Dix, a Penny, Oompa, a Loompa, Lanny, Okeechobee, Ava, Wachi, X, Y, Z. So for this one on Mama Llama, usually we do pat and then we clap in a circle. So they clap the people next to them. Because of COVID, we're not doing that. So we're just doing pat, clap high, pat, clap high. And then on the Annie, Manny, Dix, a Penny part, then we do you just follow me, and we'll do that a couple of times, and I'll invite someone else to come up and they get to pick what we're going to do on that part. And it's really fun to like try to trick the kids, and they just think it's hilarious and really, again, easy way to get involved, get the movements out, get the wiggles out, and they love it. Next up, we are prepping the song Lemonade. So I have them just take their hands and I sing the song and they just show me the so and the me, and there is one law down at the very end. And then I'll put the words up on the screen and I'll sing through the whole thing, and then we'll talk about, again, I don't have a screen. It's on the bulletin board. I wrote them out in green and in red. And so I'll say, this is a conversation. What's a conversation? We talk through that stuff. And then I'll sing one part and they sing the other part. So Lemonade goes, I'll hold up like this is one side, this is the other side. Here we come, where from? New York. What's your trade? Lemonade, give us some. What fun. Get to work and make us some. Super simple and super fun, and it has that law at the very end, which is what we are like, you know, getting ready to learn. So super fun. They absolutely love it. They follow along. They sing it back and forth with me, and then we are pretty much done for that. Then after that, I'm like, great, let's see if we can do a different song. And so then I again do the show me on your body what we're doing, and we go through the song Agua de Limones, which is really fun. By the way, Lemonade is available in my TPT shop. There's a whole presentation with everything you need, the rhythm, the melody, the everything, and it introduces law. There's also an Agua de Limones activity in my TPT shop. I will link them both down below, and it has the lyrics, it has the rhythm, it has the melody, it introduces law, it has both of them have the games that are associated with them. It's a great time, so definitely click those down below. But Agua de Limones goes, Agua de limones, vamos a jugar, y el que quede solo, solo quedará. And in the Google Slides presentation for that one, there's a recording of me singing it. So if you don't feel comfortable singing it in Spanish because you don't feel comfortable with other languages, first of all, just try it. Secondly, you can play the recording, and that's also good for the game. And so then we play the game that's associated with that one. Oh, sorry, I skipped something. In between these, I sing So Mi La patterns, and the kids are just showing it to me on their bodies to show me if they can kind of hear the difference. Anyway, so we do Agua de Limones, and then we play the game. So this game is really fun. While you sing, the kids are supposed to go in a circle. We just walk around the room, and then at the end you call out a category, and they have to get in groups based on their categories. And it's supposed to be, if somebody is left over, then they're the new caller, but I just didn't let anybody be left out, and I just called all of them. So this one I now love for the beginning of the school year. I didn't do this on purpose, but I love that it's the beginning of the school year because they actually have to talk to each other to figure these things out. Because, you know, some are really easy. We'll do like buy your shirt color, what color are your shoes, and then we'll do more complicated things like what's your favorite color. They actually have to go talk to people about what their favorite color is. How old are you? How many brothers and sisters do you have? And just all sorts of different things like that, and they get in groups based on those things. So like everybody who has a dog would get in groups if we were talking about pets. So super fun and super simple. They love it. It has been a huge hit, and it's a good way for them to hear the song a bunch of times before I expect them to actually learn it. So that is Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're starting with Mama Llama again, but this time we're going a little quicker just to review, get in a circle and play the game correctly. So the person who is doing the actions go in the middle, and then I have them, when they are finished, if you want to turn, you raise your hand, and they go switch spots with someone who has their hand up so that lots of people get a turn. And hopefully we don't have to stop the song at all to be like, okay, who wants to go next? What are we gonna do next? Because usually they can just keep going and rolling until we are done. Then they sit down and we again do, you know, Agua de Limones, up and down, so they can kind of get a feel for that. And then I am like, great. Now, what if I took this and I like put a dot on the board, and I'm like, this is gonna be my shoulders. If we have agua, did I go up or down? They're like, oh, you went down. I'm like, great. So I'm gonna put a dot like down, and then I kind of like lead them through showing me how to notate it on the board. I don't put it on the staff, just on the board, just up and down little dots, super quick, so they can figure that out. And then I'm like, oh great, let's see if we could figure out some new patterns. And I showed them a couple of different really simple So Mi La patterns on the staff, but I was gonna put them up on the board, but instead I'm just holding them up, and we sing through a couple of them, and they can figure out, even without knowing their So Mi La, that is, you know, shoulders, head, all of that kind of stuff. And so we'll sing them back and forth, they'll figure them out. And then I put 2 up on the board, and I sing one of them, and they have to show me, is it number 1 or is it number 2? This is a super easy way to see who is already understanding what we're doing even before we've talked about what law is, because they can tell me, is that number 1 or number 2? And they can usually figure it out, and they've done really well with that. It's also a super quick assessment. You don't have to hand anything out. No one needs paper, no one needs pencils. They can just, it was number 1 or it was number 2, and then you are done with that. After that, we then again do some Somi Law patterns that takes us back to our lemonade game, and we play the game. So lemonade is a really fun game. What you do is you have those 2 different teams, and at the beginning you show them a super secret card that has a job on it, and you sing the song, and whoever is the first team, the Here We Come, they have to act out the song. They have to act out the profession at the end. So we'll sing, usually you're in 2 lines and you like take a step closer to each other, or you can just sit on the carpet, that's fine too. And so at the end they jump up. So like if the super secret trade was a chef, then that group's gonna jump up, they're gonna pretend to be a chef, and the other group has to guess what they're being. And so really fun. If they guess it right, they get a point, and you just keep going and going, and it's so much fun. Note, before we start, I like to show them each one and have them act it out, so that 1, they're already thinking about what that means, and 2, the ones who can't read as well can at least kind of associate the word with the actions, and they can figure it out a little bit better, because we do have 3rd graders who are still struggling to read. So there's that. In my TPT shop, in the lemonade pack, there is a whole set of trade occupation cards, and so I think there's like 30 of them, and they have pictures and words so that you can, you know, kind of get over that little hump. Then on Thursday, we are starting with statues. So this is another like go-to, one of my favorite things to do. I play on a drum and I play just 8-beat patterns, and on the first one I do it louder, so each downbeat, well, every other downbeat, on 1 out of 8 I play it loudly, and then the others are quiet, and on every loud one they have to make a statue, and then they hold it, and then the next time there's a loud beat they make a statue. Really fun, really simple, and leads right into our next lesson, which is Beethoven's 7th Symphony Movement 2. I think that's correct. This is again in my TPT shop, and so we are then going to do this. So what I do is I put the rhythm up on the board, and it's just quarter, 1/8 notes, and then a rest at the very end. And so they read through the rhythms, and then I have them play it on their legs, and they go ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, and then rest. And on the rest they make a statue, they make a pose, and so we do that, and they, you know, play the rhythm on their legs, and they do the whole posing and everything, and it's a great time. And then I put up the rhythm to Agua de Limones, which is very, very similar. They talk about like what's different from the first one to the second one. We read through that, we go through the song, and then I pull out the xylophones. Now I wanted them to be able to play the Somi Law on the xylophones, but I didn't prep it well enough. So instead, we've just been playing a like really simple Bourdon on the xylophones, and that's been fun because really they're just excited to use the xylophones. I think tomorrow I'm gonna try, instead of Agua de Limones, I might try it with lemonade, because lemonade's just so me until the very end is the only law. So we might try that tomorrow and see how it goes. Fingers crossed. But that was kind of just that was a teacher fail, and I was like, oh, I did not scaffold that well enough. So next time I know that we need to prep it a little bit better. But I will say that before we do that, I have them use their hands, and we play on our lap xylophone, which just means that they're following me, and they're like, Agua de Limones, vamos a jugar. So we had it up here, and then we're going up and down this way so that they can kind of get a feel for it, and they can watch me if they're confused. I've tried that with I think 2 or 3 classes. Some of them have done well and some of them have struggled, and so again, I need to scaffold it more, so next time I will scaffold it more. But there we go, there we go. We'll try better. We didn't get to play instruments last year, so we're very behind. And so that's where we are. On Friday we pull out Mama Llama for the last time this week, and then after that we pull back out the Beethoven. They play through the rhythm, and then I let them walk around the room to do it. So they're walking the steady beat, playing the rhythm and whispering the rhythm, and then at the end they do a little statue. Again, that lesson is in my TPT shop with the rhythm. It's got the song in there. It has information about Beethoven. It has all sorts of different things, so definitely check that out down below. And then after that we add instruments, and so we pull out some instruments and we play usually just like rhythm sticks or drums, and we play the rhythms along with it, and then, you know, again, pose at the end with that quarter rest. Then we play through a couple of just rhythm patterns, and I just write down like, this person's playing correctly or this person's not playing correctly, so I can kind of get a feel for where we are rhythm wise, so I know what we need to do. Now, I have noticed that most of my kids feel better rhythmically than they do melodically, which is probably because we were online, so it was harder to do melody than it was to do rhythm. Or maybe it's just that I drilled rhythm into them really, really well before. I don't know. Either way, that's where we are. And then at the very end, they get to pick a game to play if they earn their points this week, and so they do that, and it's a great time. At the very end, I've been having them write on a sticky note just one thing that they've learned this week, which has been just a really quick and easy way to assess that they, like, you know, remembered something. And I told them they don't have, it doesn't have to be a full sentence. I don't even make them put their name on it. They just write it down, they stick it. I have a little anchor chart that says what stuck with you today, and they just stick it on the anchor chart, and then they come line up, and then we are done with 3rd grade. So I hope that was helpful. If you have questions particular to like my students, let me know down below. If you want more lessons like this, then definitely hit the subscribe button, because again, I do one every week. So last week would have been 4th and 5th grade. Next week will be 1st and 2nd grade. And then we will be on into our next set of lessons, which is all Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'm so excited because it's like my favorite set of lessons ever. And so that's where we are. Let me know your questions, what you're teaching your kids at the beginning of the school year down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.